Hello everyone, Assalamu alaikum, how are you all? I hope you are well. Welcome back my channel in this new video. Today's is video. So let's straight. Sex, romance, and relationships have long been subjects of fascination, reflection, and exploration. Writers, poets, philosophers, and everyday individuals have sought to encapsulate the depth of these human experiences into words, offering insights that resonate across cultures and eras. Love is composed of a single soul inhabiting two bodies, Aristotle once mused. This idea of a profound connection between two individuals speaks to the universal desire for intimacy, both emotional and physical. Yet intimacy itself is complex, often intertwining love and desire in ways that can be both beautiful and challenging. Anais Nin, celebrated for her writings on passion and eroticism, declared, "Love never dies a natural death. It dies because we don't know how to replenish its source." Her words remind us that relationships require nurturing and conscious effort. Without tending to the emotional, physical, and romantic aspects, even the strongest connections can fade. Sexuality, often viewed through the lens of culture and taboo, carries its own set of reflections. Oscar Wilde cheekily stated, "Everything in the world is about sex except sex. Sex is about power." This sentiment highlights the ways in which societal structures and individual interactions are influenced by sexual dynamics. Yet Wilde's observation also reminds us that sex transcends mere physicality. It is tied to emotions, vulnerability, and identity. In the realm of romance, the tender simplicity of expressions like, "I have waited for this opportunity for more than half a century. To repeat to you once again my vow of eternal fidelity and everlasting love," from Gabriel Garcia Marquez's Love in the Time of Cholera, illustrates love's enduring nature. Romance often thrives on anticipation, longing, and the small acts that cement bonds between individuals. Khalil Gibran, in his poetic wisdom, offered, "Let there be spaces in your togetherness, and let the winds of the heavens dance between you. Love one another, but make not a bond of love. Let it rather be a moving sea between the shores of your souls." This perspective encourages freedom and individuality within relationships, asserting that true love is not about possession, but about growth and connection. Passion, too, has its own role in the narrative of love and sex. "When love is not madness, it is not love," wrote Pedro Calderón de la Barca, suggesting that intense, overwhelming emotions often accompany true affection. Passion fuels the fire of romance, bringing an exhilarating yet sometimes destabilizing energy to relationships. At the intersection of sex and love, we find both joy and conflict. Reflecting on the complications of desire, Erica Jong noted, "And the trouble is, if you don't risk anything, you risk even more." Her words encourage embracing vulnerability, a key component in authentic relationships. While risk may lead to heartbreak, it also opens the door to intimacy and connection. The philosopher Alain de Botton explored the challenges of sustaining romantic love in his works. He wrote, "Compatibility is an achievement of love. It must not be its precondition." This quote highlights that lasting relationships often require effort and compromise rather than an effortless alignment of personalities or desires. Similarly, psychologist Esther Perel has observed, "Eroticism thrives in the space between the self and the other," emphasizing the importance of maintaining individuality even in the most intimate of relationships. In matters of heartbreak and loss, the words of poet Elizabeth Barrett Browning provide solace. "I love you not only for what you are, but for what I am when I am with you." Love, in its truest form, can transform individuals, making them better, stronger, and more compassionate. Yet when love fades or is lost, the ache is profound, as expressed by Alfred Lord Tennyson. "'Tis better to have loved and lost than never to have loved at all." Modern writers have also grappled with the complexities of relationships in the context of contemporary life. Cheryl Strayed, in her book Tiny Beautiful Things, offered this piece of advice. "Most things will be okay eventually, but not everything will be. Sometimes you'll put up a good fight and lose. Sometimes you'll hold on really hard and realize there's no choice but to let go. Her words reflect the bittersweet reality that not all relationships are meant to last, and letting go can be an act of love in itself. In examining the interplay of physical and emotional connection, Haruki Murakami wrote, "If you remember me, then I don't care if everyone else forgets." This sentiment speaks to the desire for a deep, lasting impression within the hearts of those we love, even as time and circumstances change. Sexuality, too, finds expression in art and literature. D.H. Lawrence, in Lady Chatterley's Lover, explored the idea of physical love as a pathway to emotional fulfillment. The only thing that's important is that the organism should reach its highest point of fulfillment. His controversial work delves into the interplay between sexual liberation and societal norms, challenging readers to reconsider their views on intimacy. The complexities of desire are further illustrated by Milan Kundera in The Unbearable Lightness of Being. For there is nothing heavier than compassion. Not even one's own pain weighs so heavy as the pain one feels for someone's pain intensified by the imagination and prolonged by 100 echoes. Kundera's words touch on the profound empathy and connection that can arise from love and intimacy, as well as the burden such closeness can bring. In reflecting on the humor and irony of relationships, Mae West famously quipped, "Too much of a good thing can be wonderful." Her playful perspective on indulgence and pleasure reminds us that sex and romance can also be sources of joy and laughter, not solely intense passion or drama. Relationship,